Hello and welcome to the Morning News. I'm Shilpa Ratnam and we're talking about the Bangalore rains. After devastating Series A, rains are back for yet another Series B. Now, this was a city that so many were relocating to, believing that it was bringing international standards by way of standards of living. But it continues to deal with the flood crisis, and a heavy downpour in the city has claimed 5 lives across Karnataka. The Met Department has said there will be no respite from rainfall for the next 2 to 3 days as overflowing lakes and storm water continue to drain inundated low-lying areas. Boats and tractors were pressed into service to ferry techies and students to their workplaces and schools. Around 50 areas of rain-hit Bengaluru will not receive drinking water for the next 2 days. Meanwhile, a central team is stated to visit the state today to assess loss and damage caused due to the floods.
This is the famous IT corridor of Bengaluru, home to tech giants, startups and innovators. But after 3 days of heavy rains, it is underwater. Roads have turned into rivers, buses have been replaced with boats, and the so-called Silicon Valley of India is now a swampland.
You can see the complete outer ring road is waterlogged, and that's the kind of situation that has been created here because of the heavy downpour. The traffic police are trying to divert the traffic from here. They are requesting people to not choose this particular road to travel.
As always, it's the citizens who bear the brunt. Cars are submerged in the basements of posh housing complexes. Tractors are the only means of transport now, whether to rescue people or to take them to work. The civic apathy is taking a toll and also taking lives. 23-year-old Akhila was struggling to ride her two-wheeler through knee-deep water. She lost her balance and held onto an electric pole but got electrocuted to death. While anger is growing against the Karnataka government for mismanagement and negligence, the Chief Minister is busy blaming his predecessors.
This is done because of maladministration and totally unplanned administration of the previous government, Congress government.
While the politicians pass the buck, the scenes that we've witnessed in Bengaluru in the last 72 hours have put the spotlight on the damage caused by unplanned development in the rapidly growing city. 500 stormwater drains have been encroached upon, and that has now left the city drowning.
Almost all the places where the water was stagnating and people were getting waterlogged, almost all of them are over. This is the worst affected area right now because the Raj Kalve is obstructed. We have started the removal of obstruction since morning.
So who has betrayed Bengaluru?
My colleague Anusha Soni spoke with BBMP Commissioner Tushar Girinath on the state of the floods in the city. Listen.
Citizens are very, very angry. Have you done enough? What would you tell them and how would you assure them at this point?
this rain is not completely our responsibility. The flooding which has happened is unprecedented, as you already know. That is one of the worst for the last 50 years. We have not faced such type of wet season, and the consequent, consecutive three very high intense rainfall, one after another, has not allowed us. We were completely battered, and it has not allowed the water to get cleared from many places, and also our lakes are full now. With the result, this flooding has happened. When there is a design capacity and the rains happen beyond that design, there would be some flooding. And the effectiveness of the system is that the flooded area should get back to the normalcy at the earliest.
But sir, this is the IT capital of India and it's not equipped with basic infrastructure like a good drainage system. Why were the authorities unprepared when you had a clear warning? Many experts had said that there was already a prediction in place.
Surely we were prepared. If you see, for the last 3 months, we have a system of cleaning all our stormwater drains once in 3 months. We had taken up very, very intensive cleaning with a lot of pressure on the agencies, and the bigger primary and secondary drains have all been cleared. We have around 800 kilometers of primary and secondary drains, which are very big drains, and half of them are lined and half of them are unlined. Looking into the capacity of the unlined areas, we took one-time cleaning starting in the month of June, July, and we have completed that unlined area cleaning also. With the result, if you see the amount of rain which has fallen on the city, the flooding is very, very localized. It is only in 10 square kilometer. It is only between the two biggest lake series, the last of the two biggest lakes which fall in the lake series, which are called Balandur and Vartur, the areas surrounding it. That means the other areas which have got around 100 mm rainfall consecutively 3 times with the gap of around 24 to 48 hours didn't suffer.
But sir, the key lakes are overflowing, as you said. Why weren't the preventive measures taken? I'll come back to that point. And what did the authorities do about the encroachments in this area that you're speaking of?
As I told you, these lakes are not having any gates, etc. So they get filled one by one and they start overflowing. In this case, large number of lakes have reached their capacity in the month of August and the first week of September itself. It is unprecedented that out of 190 lakes, 162 are running full. With these status of lakes, the lakes will overflow, the water will overflow, and you can't prevent nature.
But sir, coming to the more immediate and pressing concerns, there are issues of drinking water, the scarcity of it being reported from many areas. And you're talking about this localized flooding. What will you do to prevent it? Because the rains are not stopping for the next few days.
There is no question of not doing the evacuation. Actually, the citizens who were there inside the houses, they stayed back in their houses thinking that the water would recede. Somehow, because of the yesterday late rain, etc., they have also realized that it is better that they come out. So we have evacuated. They have also come out because at no place the flooding is on the road around 1 or 2 feet more, 1 or 2 feet, except that 2, 3, 4 layouts where it has reached to 5 feet. And those persons are all evacuated. So we are completely, so far as evacuation, relief measures are concerned, we are completely equipped and doing it.
After releasing a sting video 2 days ago, the BJP hit the streets in the national capital against the Aam Aadmi Party yesterday, demanding the removal of Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. Meanwhile, the Enforcement Directorate conducted raids in connection to the alleged excise scam policy. Around 30 locations in Delhi were on ED's radar. Manish Sisodia, while reacting to the raid, said that, like the CBI raids, the ED is not going to find any proof of corruption. He also accused the Modi government of silencing the Aam Aadmi Party with the help of central agencies. Sisodia further said that he is honest and is not scared of any of these raids.
The ladai over Liquorgate reached Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia's doorstep today. BJP workers held a massive protest, holding placards, raising slogans and demanding his dismissal over the excise policy scam. As they tried to march towards Sisodia's house, police swooped in and dragged them into buses.
As far as the politics is concerned, so the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, particularly for the unit of the national capital, they have been directed from the top-notch leaders of the BJP unit that they have to take this particular corruption, the so-called allegation, to the masses.
The showdown in the capital came even as the Enforcement Directorate raided more than 30 locations across the country over the money laundering case.
This is the house of Samendra Mahendru, and we are learning that around 7 to 8 ED officials are very much inside. They are carrying out these searches. They are basically looking for some sort of evidences, some sort of documents, and also the technical team and the forensic team has been called in to be a part of this search.
While Sisodia himself wasn't raided, he said he has nothing to hide.
CBI यूज कर लें, ED यूज कर लें, हर चीज यूज कर लें, लेकिन शिक्षा के काम को रोक नहीं पाएंगे, ये हमारी गारंटी है। CBI के लिए भी मेरी क्या तैयारी है? मेरे पास कुछ है नहीं, मैंने ईमानदारी से काम किया, मैंने स्कूल बनवाए, 4 स्कूलों के नक्शे और मिल जाएंगे उनको वहाँ से।
The ED initiated a probe in the case after taking cognizance of CBI's FIR, which has named Sisodia as accused number 1.
145 करोड़ रुपया एक, 30 करोड़ एक, ये सब फ्री क्यों दिया गया? 2% से 12% कमीशन क्यों दिया गया? ये हमारे प्रश्न थे। रेवेन्यू को नुकसान हुआ, उसके बाद सीबीआई इंक्वायरी हुई, सबके सामने है। जिसको वो बेस्ट पॉलिसी कहते थे वापस चले गए।
In this now unending BJP versus AAP war, the next salvo is likely to be around the corner.
एक तरफ ईडी की रेड सुबह से हो रही है, दूसरी तरफ आज आप प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, क्या कारण है, किस तरीके से देखा जाए?
देखिए, जब अरविंद केजरीवाल ने दिल्ली में नई एक्साइज पॉलिसी लागू की, हम उसी दिन से कह रहे हैं, आप विधानसभा का रिकॉर्ड उठा के देख लीजिए कि अरविंद केजरीवाल हमें हमारे एक सवाल का जवाब दे दो कि आपने शराब के ठेकेदारों का कमीशन 2% से बढ़ाकर 12% कर दिया। आपकी सरकार ने मास्टर प्लान का वायलेशन करके रिहायशी क्षेत्रों में 300 से ज्यादा शराब के ठेके खोले हैं। आपको ये एक्साइज पॉलिसी वापस लेनी पड़ेगी, नहीं तो हम अपने पद से त्यागपत्र देकर हम अपने घर चले जाएंगे। अब तो शराब के ठेकेदारों ने कह दिया कि जो 12% कमीशन हमें दिया गया, उसमें से 6% अरविंद केजरीवाल और मनीष सिसोदिया की जेब में गया है। अरविंद केजरीवाल, मनीष सिसोदिया को उनके पद से बर्खास्त करो और अरविंद केजरीवाल, आपको चीफ मिनिस्टर के पद से त्यागपत्र देना पड़ेगा। आज दो या कल दो, देना पड़ेगा।
पहले इन्होंने सीबीआई के छापे मारे, उसमें कुछ नहीं निकला। अब ईडी के छापे मार लेंगे, उसमें भी कुछ नहीं निकलेगा। पूरी कोशिश ये है कि बस किसी तरह से जो देश में शिक्षा का माहौल बना, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी काम कर रहे हैं, उसको रोक दिया जाए, उसको किसी तरह से आगे बढ़ने से रोका जाए। लेकिन ये रोक नहीं पाएंगे। ये सीबीआई यूज कर लें, ईडी यूज कर लें, हर चीज यूज कर लें, लेकिन शिक्षा के काम को रोक नहीं पाएंगे, ये हमारी गारंटी है। सीबीआई के लिए भी मेरी क्या तैयारी है? मेरे पास कुछ है नहीं, मैंने ईमानदारी से काम किया, मैंने स्कूल बनवाए, 4 स्कूलों के नक्शे और मिल जाएंगे उनको वहां से।
सब जगह गई ईडी, टेलीविजन चैनल्स को खबर दी कि मनीष जी के घर जाएंगे, मगर अंततः आखिरी में मुझे लगता है ईडी वालों के हाथ पैर ठंडे हो गए और उन्होंने कहा यहां जाने का मतलब है बेइज्जती कराना है, तो इनको तो छोड़ दो। तो अब छापे चाहे पूरी दुनिया में मार लें, ये बात तय हो गई कि सीबीआई और ईडी की तरफ से मनीष सिसोदिया जी को क्लीन चिट मिल गई है। ईडी ने मनीष जी के घर पे आज जो है कोई भी रेड नहीं मारी है, कोई भी छापा नहीं मारा।
In a bid to revive Congress, Rahul Gandhi is all set to launch Bharat Jodo Yatra, which will be covering 12 states from today. The Bharat Jodo Yatra will start from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and will be covering a distance of around 3,750 kilometers. Rahul Gandhi will take part in a prayer meet at former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's memorial in Sri Perambuduru and attend an event in Kanyakumari before the Yatra. 119 yatris, including Rahul Gandhi, will stay on the road, cook food at the campsite for the next 150 days.
We are all worried at the way this country is being run, the way the economy has been ruined. Joblessness and price rise have broken all records. And the collective attention of the country is being diverted from the actual issues of price rise and joblessness to divisive and polarizing issues. We need to bring the focus back on the actual issues. Therefore, this yatra, to save the constitution, to save and safeguard the democratic rights of every single Indian.
3570 किलोमीटर की भारत जोड़ो यात्रा इस देश के आज़ाद हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास में 75 साल में सबसे बड़ी यात्रा किसी राजनीतिक दल द्वारा की गई। ये जन आंदोलन है जो केवल भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस तक सीमित नहीं, हर वो व्यक्ति जो महंगाई के खिलाफ है, बेरोजगारी के खिलाफ है, अमीर और गरीब की बढ़ती खाई के खिलाफ है, देश के संसाधनों की लूट के खिलाफ है, देश की आत्मा और देश के संविधान पर हमले के खिलाफ है। कांग्रेस पार्टी के साथ आगे बढ़कर इस यात्रा में सहयोग दे।
All set is arranged and ready for launching of Bharat Jodo Yatra from tomorrow onwards, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. This is going to be a historical event as far as the Indian politics is concerned. The country is facing many issues. They are misusing the agencies, CBI, ED, and income tax to target the opposition voice. Voice of the media also is controlled by the government, basically. This is a high time to highlight all these issues and take the support of the people and to fight against these things. That is why we are starting this yatra.
Get a Money Control Pro subscription at net zero cost by claiming exciting offers worth rupees 1,500 from our partner brands. Grab these benefits now only on the Money Control app or website. And with that, I'm taking a very short break.